In other education news, 10 more St. Lucians are beneficiaries of scholarships from the government of Cuba. 2 of the scholarship recipients will pursue postgraduate studies, one in internal medicine and the other in pediatrics. 7 students will pursue undergraduate studies in medicine and 1 in dentistry. Over the past years, Cuba has been awarding scholarships for St. Lucians to pursue studies in medicine, engineering, agricultural science, among other disciplines. Over 550 St. Lucians have graduated since the inception of that program. The scholarships were awarded as the St. Lucia Cuba Humanistic Association celebrates 10 years of collaboration with the Spanish island. Founding member Peter Lantigo says the relationship has served St. Lucia well and that the time has come for the island to embrace the Spanish language and culture.
We've been studying French, Spanish, etc. in our curriculum for years. But we never excel to the point where we can articulate. Because all we do is study the stuff in school, but we don't travel into those countries. We don't spend time in those countries. All we have to do is spend a few dollars, and every holiday, send our children who study Spanish and French to Martinique, Cuba, Dominican Republic, etc., etc. Every holiday, spend a few dollars, financed by families, financed by governments, financed by international organizations, and it will be just a matter of a few decades where almost everybody will be articulating the language. There's nothing more beautiful than being in the country where the language is spoken and you speak Spanish as easily as you speak your own original language. I believe I have been one of the most lucky St. Lucians to have had the great opportunity to study in Cuba. I am a product of the Cuban education system. And the beautiful thing about having studied in Cuba, brothers and sisters, is that because I studied in Cuba, I was also able to study in Venezuela. Then I was able to study in Spain. I was able to study in Chile. I was able to study in Mexico. And wherever I go in the world, I speak Spanish like I speak English.
Cuba's ambassador to St. Lucia underscored the support the association provided to its homeland, especially during trying times.
We can say that thanks to the support of our friends around the world, and very importantly thanks to the support of our Caribbean brothers and sisters, Cuba has managed to preserve its sovereignty and independence amidst the great challenges that humanity faces, without sacrificing our ideals of peace and social justice. Today we celebrate, with the Caribbean enthusiasm that characterizes us, the contribution of this association to the development of relations between our peoples, one of the best purposes that human beings can conceive. The Humanistic Solidarity Association has also made a major contribution to overcome the policy of sanctions and isolation against Cuba, promoting ties in health, education, culture, and trade between Cuba and St. Lucia, and disseminating the truth about Cuba in the media. I would like at this time to reiterate the special gratitude of Cuba to the association, members and friends, for all efforts to contribute to the humanitarian solution that allowed the return of the 5 Cuban heroes to our country. Dear friends, we can be proud of what the association has achieved in these years, convinced that 10 years after its launching, with the important contribution of you and all friends of Cuba around the world, Cuba is closer to definitely overcome the blockade and to have returned that portion of our territory occupied against our will in Guantanamo. Only a united Caribbean with mutual cooperation can meet the challenges imposed by the current and future world.
Ambassador Jorge Luis emphasized this country's philosophy in extending education opportunities to St. Lucia and other territories.
When we have the privilege of contributing to the saving of a life of anybody here in St. Lucia, this life is not smaller than any life in any other part of the world. And when we have the privilege of contributing to the training of any St. Lucian in Cuba, this contribution is not smaller compared to anybody else from any part of the world. It's not a matter of size, it is a matter of humanity. And this is a very important concept I would like to convey to you tonight.